Welcome, everyone, to the Thursday, July 2nd edition. Can't believe we're halfway through the year of the Vancouver Power BI Modern Excel User Group Meetup. Today, we've got Jakob Nielsen with us, and I'm going to give him the stage in a couple of minutes once we get through our usual sort of preamble here on some different things. So, first thing I always like to mention to folks is that this show, as well as all instances that we have of this, are sponsored by SkillWave, which is the company that we have that makes amazing training for Excel and Power BI. If you're looking to upskill, you should definitely check out our products. Excel Guru is the parent company of SkillWave and also the creator and distributor of Monkey Tools, our Excel software to help you build better Excel solutions. We've got a couple of meetups coming up in the next month here. In a couple of weeks, Sue Bays is going to be joining us to talk about turning semantic models into insights, automation, and AI. And then in about 4 weeks from now-ish, I guess, actually August 6th, so I think we've got about 5 weeks, we've got myself. I'm going to be coming and talking a little bit about upping your Excel efficiency game as well. So we've got a couple of great shows coming up. RSVPs are open. Don't forget to sign up for those. A couple of quick things new in Monkey Tools. We've got a couple of different things out here. Auto expansion and collapsing of the formula bar is now live in Monkey Tools. This is something that you can definitely check out in our Using Monkey Tools course. We have the ability to indent and unindent Excel formulas for pro users. Just Control-Shift-I right in the grid and we'll unindent or indent blocks of formulas, which is pretty cool. So new BiblioMonkey formula tags for ranges and spill anchors and lots of bug fixes like we usually do. So lots of cool things in Monkey Tools that you should definitely check out. Don't forget that we have our free version of this course as well that will tell you all the cool things that you have in here that you can use. All right. So there you go. There is the free course as well. I'm just going to skip past this one for right now here, although I will notice that there are 3 new lessons in this course. The last one is called Letify Monkey. I will talk about that next meetup, but there's a cool new feature that is not actually out in the general public yet that you might want to look at. All right. Next up. Oops. What did I click here? There we go. That's better. All right. So a couple of things I just want to throw out is around SkillWave courses. We have our new Ask Ken Anything subscription in the shop available to purchase without purchasing the course. This is our, we do 2 live Teams meetings a week for up to 2 hours a piece here. These are all recorded. You can submit questions in advance. You can come without submitting questions in advance and just hang out with us. We've got a few of our different regular characters who are actually here joining us. I see Eric and Deepak and Scott. Where you just basically get to come in and ask me anything you like. And it's a great discussion. We riff about different things. We solve problems. We talk about all kinds of great stuff. If you're looking for support for your courses or just to generally have a sanity check on the stuff that you build, you should definitely check out the Ask Ken Anything subscription. As far as courses go, if you are looking to up your Excel skills here, you can definitely check out our Excel Fundamentals Academy. This is sort of our take you to a solid intermediate skill level here. We talk about pivot tables, we talk about data visualizations, formula knowledge, and Power Query. So some great skills to give you a good fundamental for building some really cool stuff. And if you feel that you're already past that and you're ready to go and actually take it to the next level here, at that point, we've got our Self-Service BI Academy, which takes you right into Power Pivot, dimensional modeling, DAX, and Power BI. This includes your Monkey Tools subscription, includes actually the Fundamentals Academy as well. So there's a ton of training here. And like the fundamentals and this course, both as well, also include your access to your Ask Ken Anything session. So a ton of value inside this package you should definitely check out. AI questions aloud, Ken. Christian, you are just coming in to drive me crazy this morning, aren't you, my friend? Yeah, you can ask me questions about AI. You might know that I have opinions on that subject, and I am more than happy to discuss them with you in that format. I can see Deepak smiling on camera because he knows he's been there as Ken's talked about AI. So we definitely have our opinions around those kind of things. Not that I'm sure that you'd be surprised at all, Christian. So, by the way, speaking of courses, we actually have a big sale going on right now, our Hot Data Summer Program. So there is 25% off any new registration of a course at SkillWave. 25% off your new Monkey Tools annual life or lifetime license purchase as well. You can just enter this code and you can check out and grab some amazing stuff to help you be better at your Excel and Power BI world. This meetup, along with all meetups, is recorded, will be posted to our Skillwave YouTube channel within 24 hours. We will also let you know about that through our meetup site as well. Of course, if you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, you'll get notified about that even faster. So if you're looking to replay some of the cool stuff that Jakob's going to show you, you'll be able to check that out later on today. Second to last slide that I've got here is, if you would like to come and actually present to our group, we would love to have you here. So please just get in touch with us. I know that I've got, I see Alex, I see you're here, and I know Alex actually has reached out to us, say, hey, I've got some cool stuff I want to share. So we're going to be having Alex on our show at some point in the future as well to show some of the cool things he's doing, which is going to be fantastic. So don't forget to reach in here. Anything that you were doing that's cool around Excel, Power BI, or anything in the Power Platform stack, we would love to hear about it. And on that note, it's time to change screens here. Jakob, welcome back to the program. And today we're going to be talking about unlocking the power of organizational data types. So.
Thank you so much, Ken. Can you see my screen here?
I can indeed. You got it.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much for having me in this meetup. Let me just get going with a little bit of PowerPoint. I don't know if it actually changed to PowerPoint now. I need to fix that. Just a second.
Yeah, I'm seeing the back end of your PowerPoint deck, not the slideshow. If you're
Exactly. So I just need to do what? Just use the primary monitor here and not the center view. Okay, that's good.
Beautiful.
Did that work better?
Yep, absolutely.
I won't be using PowerPoint much. I'll switch over to Excel very quickly. But just briefly, some of you may already know me and have been in touch with me or seen me in a previous meetup and so on. But for those that don't, I'm a designer in the Excel team at Microsoft here in Redmond. I have been with Microsoft for almost 30 years and have been working in consulting, Dynamics, SharePoint, Office, and the past 13 years or so, I've been in Office and Excel. Started out working on graphics and data experiences, or BI, and have worked a lot on the platform for add-ins, and now I'm in Excel, mostly focused on data types there, which is also related to the platform. Since 2023, I've been part-time in my job there. So Mondays to Wednesday, I'm at Microsoft. And then the rest of the week, I do two things. One is I founded a business called Make Digital Solutions back in 2023. The goal of that was really for me to get closer to customers and have a little bit shorter range or time between idea and actually being able to deliver value, and then have a feedback loop with customers to deliver even more value. And the focus for that business is really to help people become more productive and get better results out of spreadsheets. I'm only myself in that. And my main focus is really building Excel add-ins that I'm making available in the Microsoft Marketplace. I have 4 of them now. And the last one is the data types add-in that we're going to spend some time looking at during this particular session. And it happens to also be the one that has the most users on it, using it every day to get value. The other thing I do in my non-Microsoft time is that I'm a runner, and I run marathons. And just 2 weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago, I ran a marathon in Alaska, in Anchorage, which was great fun. I know there's several people in the Excel community that are runners, and maybe some of you are as well. So please, I just want to say that please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, and really don't shy away from asking questions there, or ask for time with me and so on, if there's anything you think I can help with. Okay. And in terms of, let's go to the next slide here. In this session, the focus will be on data types, and there's two parts of this. One part is what is already built into Excel in terms of data types. So I'll discuss what they are and why they matter to the Excel experience. Not that many people know about data types in Excel, so maybe there's some new things for you there as well. The second part is more on how do you create your own data types? Because that's a question that comes up a lot when we demo the data types that are built into Excel. It's like, yeah, what if I don't need stocks, currency, and geography? How can I get my data types? And there's some things built into Excel that you can use around Power Query, and I'll show you those. But there's also a lot of functionality in the platform that enables developers to create add-ins that uses data types. And I'll show an example of that being the data types add-in that you can use from or take down from the Microsoft Marketplace and actually use on your own. Again, please use the chat feed in this session to ask questions. And I'm sure that Ken will interrupt me along the way. Right, Ken?
I can certainly do that.
Yeah. And we'll make this interesting for you as well. So the first part of this is really an introduction to data types. Let me just switch over to Excel here for a moment and get that started. Because Excel out of the box, many of you may have noticed that or not, comes with 3 data types. And the way that they work is that you make a selection of some keys or IDs and so on. In this case, it's stock tickers that are in the grid. And then you go to the data tab. And in the data tab, there's this data types gallery that are there. And there's 3 built-in data types. There's stocks, there is currencies, and there is geography. And you should have those as well if you have your Excel connected to external services, which is a setting that you need to have on in order to have this. And what happened here is that Excel converted the text that I had in the cell to a data type, or as we also call it in a more technical terms, an entity. You can also think of this as an object. So it's no longer just the text. It's actually the cell is now a complete entity that describes, in this particular case, it's the Microsoft stock. And there's these cards that have displays all of the information that is available. But what they also offer is a way with this little on-object UI to actually extract the data from that data type that I want to work on and extract that onto the grid. So for example, I can take the price, I can choose to go and select how has it changed today and what is that in percentage and so on. I can do that with the other data types as well. So for example, here I might want to go and take the population that I have for each of the cities and so on, and put those into the grid. So these are the built-in data types. As you may have noticed, I didn't really make a data connection or Power Query or needed to know where the data is. The data is just there. And the cool thing about it is that these also get updated when there's new information. So when the price on the stock changes, this will update at a certain frequency, or I can ask to update it by doing the refresh, because these are linked, what we call linked entities. They're basically linked to the data. Let me, for a second, just switch over here to just summarize that. You know, a data type is really a cell that contains an entity, and it's not just a value. It has a label, like the name of the company for stock, in the case of stocks, but it really stores an entire record. And it can have fields, relationships, metadata in it, and then you can reference these fields using formulas. And you don't need to have, do lookups into another table that you have imported or have helper columns that has this. It's just all in that cell. One thing I didn't show you, that this is just a ordinary formula. So it's not the way you access this is not only through this, but you can actually go and say, I want to create a formula, and then use the dot, and then you'll see all of the fields that are available, and you can tap into these and extract, where is this particular thing traded. Good. And then again, feel free to ask questions as we go along. I'm curious if this is something that you have used, and for what you have used it, either stocks, currencies, or geography. There can be different use cases for this. I think stock is very often used to build things like, for example, an investment tracker. This is one of the templates that's available in Excel. So you put in your investments, and you can get an updated price and so on, see the changes and so on. That's a template that you can go use. Here's one I built using the flow add-in that I have, which is basically just a heat map of the market. This is not the market today, but at some other time when I made the slide, it basically shows the 500 stocks in the S&P 500. And it shows, what the change is. And this is updating dynamically when the things change. Here's a completely different one. This is based on the geography data type, which actually is a model that I asked Copilot to build for me, that in terms of, hey, what if you wanted to open up new stores in the state of Washington? What would be a good place to do that, based on where you have existing stores and where there's like people that may want to go buy your things. So it used things like the population and the area, and from that computed the population density, and it went and got the latitude and longitude, like the location of the potential area, and so on. So these were just some examples of like the built-in data type. So on the question of building your own data types, the option that are there in Excel today is the option to use Power Query to build data types. And I've done this for a product data type. So in this, I have a table in my workbook, and I have taken, and we can go and see the table. This is the products table. Basically have basic information about a product. And I've taken that and put it into to Power Query. And let's go just briefly look at that query and see the steps there. And as you can see, I'm connecting to that data, the table in the workbook. This could be any data or any connector that Power Query uses. I've done some changing of, Power Query likely did this, of the types. And then the final step I have here is this thing that says create a data type. And the create a data type here is basically choosing what you want to call it and what the display column should be, like what should be the label for the data type. You can have more advanced things here where you choose to say what fields do you want to have part of this, but I basically chose to have all of them. And that, when I load that into the workbook, basically creates this list of entities. And you can see that, for example, does not have an image on it. If I want to have an image, I need to do things like, use the image function and then point to a property that has the image, and it's good that I have that. So image has a URL, and when I add that, it says it's blocked because I need to enable that content. I why I got that, but let me just see if I can get that. So you see that it can pull in. You can pull in the images even with a Power Query one, but you don't get the image in the cards. Why is that useful? Well, one way of using that would be in something like a little analysis here, and I'll, I have some product IDs, but I missed category and unit price from my analysis. So one way of using it would be to do an X lookup and say, I want to look up the product ID, and I want to look it up into let's see this, the output of the query here, the product data types. I want to look it up into product data types. And when you do that, the product data types, but I need to say that it should be the product ID. This is really scary to write a lookup formula while presenting. I should just have copy pasted it. Product ID. And then you need to bring back the product data types. Let's see if that works. Of course, I get a pound value. What else could I get? Actually, why is that? Help me debug this, please. Let me see. Scary business. I should just have done this copy paste. Come on. Yes.
Yeah, your product data types is a table, right? So
yeah,
You have to return a column.
yeah, you've got a dot between your table and your opening brace, and I don't think that was supposed to be there.
Yeah. This is just me that should have done something else to begin with. It's a little bit easier. So X lookup, I want the product. I want to look it up into the product data types. Dot. No, that's not correct.
Square brace there.
Product.
Yeah, product data type square brace.
Data types. This one, right? And why is that not right?
Is product data types a table?
Yeah, it is. I think
Then go to square brace, not dot.
Yeah. Because this is where you see that even a Microsoft person working on the Excel team can have trouble doing Excel.
Typing too many dots lately.
Yeah, that's right. So I need to, and then I go point to this. That's what I want. And I want to return it from this. And that's what, and then it's a spill, of course. And why did it do that? And I'm just
So your first one has to be on your table. You're not in the right table.
Yeah.
You should be in E6 or whatever, however you're going to reference that for product ID.
Yeah.
On this current page in the X lookup.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Your first argument.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Thank you so much. Like, this is really helpful. This is it. Yeah. And then it says an A. Why is that? And product data type .id. Yeah. Okay. After a long search here, what you actually saw here, that I got my X lookup formula here, and now I have these sitting here instead, right? So these are the data types, and I have the card experience and so on brought into the table. And then I can do, pull in my category and then also pull in my unit price. And I don't need to do new lookups or sit and try to get that working. And then I can start adding, like, what is the total undiscounted price and so on, and get my analysis working. I'll show that there's an add-in that can do this a lot better a little later. But this is basically what you can use the functionality of the Power Query data types and here. Use that to define a data types that sits within a workbook. Okay. Good. Any questions related to that? Because what I want to do is that we saw how this was done with Power Query, and now I actually want to introduce an add-in that does something very, very similar.
Jakob, we got a couple of questions in the chat here. So the first one is, can the data in the card in the standard data type be limited? For example, in a presentation, you just need the land name, population, and national language in the card. Can you restrict the other values out?
No, not in the built-in data type. You cannot, like, the thing that it brings back is the term, these properties that gets shown here gets determined by Microsoft or by the Excel team. So this is, there's not a way to customize those. And I can see that would be a great thing to do, but that's not available for the built-in data types. You can do that, however, with whatever you make in Power Query, but there's no way of combining. Well, there is a way you can kind of, if you said, oh, I want a certain set of stocks, like the S&P 500 stocks, you could have a table where you bring in that data into that table, and then you could make a Power Query data type on top of that only had the subset that you wanted. Does that make sense?
I think so, yeah.
But it's a little bit, there's a couple of steps between, like, the thing out of the box and so on. And one thing you need to with Power Query data types is that if new data comes in, then you need to have the query refresh before the data type gets the new data.
All right. Next question for you. Does the information in the card show up as a data type value is displayed in the pivot table or a Power Pivot backed pivot table?
Power Pivot, just to take that first, and data types, they don't understand one another. So that you can't use those in a model. But pivot tables have some preliminary or very early functionality related to data types. So if I go and insert a pivot table based on this data, you can actually see that it will bring over the data type into the pivot table. So there's some early integration of that being done. The thing you cannot do here is go and say, oh, but I want the unit price, for example, and pull that out without having the unit price be present in the table, right? You need to then go and say, put the unit price in here, or let's say that this is probably a bad example for pivot table, unless you want to do like average unit price or something, but you need maybe more relevant would be to have a category. And, when I go and refresh this, you can see the columns come in here, and I can put the category on here, but you cannot do that directly. That would be something that we would want to do at some point.
Awesome.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And that's cool. Honestly, I wish that we had the ability to do some of that kind of stuff with Power Pivot too, but hey, it is what it is. All right. Last question for you on this section here, which I think is probably going to make a great segue into your stuff, is actually, no, hang on a second. Let me read this a little more carefully. Are the Power Query data types limited to the current workbook, or is there any option to make them available for the entire organization?
You would have to distribute the query to your organization. So the answer is yes, but you would have to have the query copied to each of the workbooks that needs to use it.
So effectively, yes, but it would be a maintenance nightmare.
Yeah, correct. And that is a great segue into the data types add-in, because that is what it's addressing. The data types add-in, if you are already familiar with the feature that was deprecated last year, called organizational data types, some of what I'm describing here will be very, very familiar, because we used to have an option where you could make a Power BI semantic model and you could mark tables in that as a feature table. And that would then show up in Excel as a data type in this gallery. Not many people use that feature, so it wasn't very widespread use or very known. But if you're familiar with that feature, this will be very, very similar. You can think of the data types add-in as a version 2 or version 3 of the organizational data types feature. How that works, if you want to, how that works is similar to the built-in data types. I have some IDs here that happens to be product IDs or product numbers. And the way the thing is accessed is that you go to the Home tab, and when you have the add-in installed, you can use this convert to data type. And that loads the data types or collections that you have been given access to, or have made or have been given access to. So for example, there's a products one where I can basically choose to convert these to products. And what happens now is that it actually reaches out to the data source and then looks up the keys that I have and then turn each cell into a data type. So for example, for the road bike, it has found that there's an image for that road bike, and it's pulled back like the kind of the information that I have sitting here, and it also showed me when I last refreshed this. So this is one of the data types that I will actually refresh, and I can start pulling that out, similar to what we had before. I can pull out the unit price and things like the category and so on. Good. So that's kind of the basic turning keys that you have in the grid into data types. So let's go back and look at the example that I had before, where I was clearly not able to write the formula as I was sitting in front of you guys. Like, how would that be using the data types add-ins? Imagine, and many people sit every single day with something like this. They got an import of something that has IDs in them, and they want to turn this into something useful, some analysis. So, product ID sit here. I can choose to say convert that. It converts it to the products. And then I can actually and say, give me the category of each of these and give me the unit price of each of these. And then boom, my analysis is done. I don't need to do a lookup, X lookup. I didn't need to go find where to do the Power Query to bring in this information. It is just right there. So think of this as a way of getting sort of curated, authoritative information out to users of Excel that may not have the skills to build or import a Power Query or do X lookups, like clearly me in this setting. Do that, and lots of productivity in this. Good. So again, the sort of the benefit of this, again, as I said, is take organizational data, like the reference data that you have or the master data that you have, products, customer assets, projects, whatever, you can take that directly into Excel, and they become structured things in Excel that you can use in formulas and tables and charts and so on. So you sort of centralize the access to your enterprise data this way, and hopefully get better data out in Excel and so on. And you don't have the manual entry or copy pasting or lookup errors and so on. And they also refresh automatically when the workbook is opened or when you want it. Like the default is set up so it does that every 60 minutes or so. It will actually go and update the data. The data types add-in starts out at free. You can download it and so on for free, and it also gives you 25 usage credits every 30 days in the free version. So you can actually, it's not just a trial version that you have, but you actually have something that you can use every single month when you get the credits. And then if you have usage that goes beyond that, then there's a subscription that covers that, which is about the price of a cup of coffee at Starbucks or another coffee outlet per month per user. But we can come back to that later if you have questions related to that. Good. Any questions related to this?
Not yet so far.
Okay. What I was showing you here was data that came from a Power BI semantic model, but it can also come directly from an Excel workbook. And the experience of creating a new collection or a new data type is basically just point at either you use the current workbook that's saved on SharePoint or OneDrive, or you can point to a semantic model. And then there's a few other settings that you need to provide, but everything is really kept in that workbook and in that Power BI semantic model. And by the way, if you're concerned about your data going elsewhere than your own tenant, it's not. It's only data is kept in your tenant, and it is also queried by the add-in running in your Excel, and it isn't put on other servers or anything. The thing I wanted to show here is that when you use a Power BI semantic model, there's actually a very, very good amount of metadata in that semantic model that makes it super interesting for data types. And one of those is actually relationships. And I have a data type called Lego sets that has almost 30,000 Lego sets that Lego has made since they started making Legos. And I can type in a set number here, and it will basically convert my cell into information about a Lego set. So the first one is actually the Eiffel Tower. Let me just pull out the image for those so you can see what the sets are, and so on. And I can pull out like what is the name of that set, and I can pull out like how many parts are in the set, and so on. So that's interesting. That's kind of the functionality I've shown to you already. But what the Power BI semantic model also does is that it gives you the relationships between tables. So one relationship that exists between the sets table and another table called themes is that you can actually have a theme. And when I pull out the theme from this, and I can do that on all of these, and you can see the different themes. This is the last one is from the Disney theme. This is actually brought into, if I have that as a data type, it is actually brought in as a data type. So I can go and inspect that with the properties. That is since it's a relationship, the data type set in looks at that in both directions of the data set. So I can actually say, for this theme, please go give me the Lego sets for that theme. And if I choose to use the getItems dot function on that, it will actually return all of the sets to me that are in that theme. And with that, I can go and say, well, what year was that from? And like, what is the name of that set? And of course, you can go and say, what is the image if I want to see that? And that takes a little bit of a while for Excel to actually load all of those images and so on. But you get the point. So it's actually using, again, the relationships in the model. I see there's a question there, Ken.
There is. The question is asking, is row level security on a semantic model respected?
Yeah, it is. Because when the query is done to Power BI, it's done on behalf of you as a user. So whoever you are signed in Office with, that the access that you have, that is what is being brought back. Of course, when you have brought it back, like in this case, all of the sets, and let's say I didn't have that I shared this workbook with someone else, at that stage, you're sharing the workbook with everything that was brought over to the workbook. So you need to be a little bit careful about that. If you have sensitive data, that you don't share a workbook with. It doesn't really go back and trim the list based on what is not what the current user is, and so on, if that makes sense. Unless you recap the get items, and then it will go do that. And then you make it a smaller list. But there's some stage where it has both in it, right?
So it's not truly following the SQL Server Analysis Services connection, which when you open up the workbook, it would say, hey, you need to refresh this right away. And if you don't, we're going to blank it out. It is still very much static in the workbook until the refresh is triggered by someone.
It will probably try to refresh it, and then it will fail at that. But I'm not sure that it will actually just fail out and give an error message. It might actually do that. I've not really tested a lot of that, but that's worth trying out. Just want to show you that this kind of can be used in other fun ways, because one of the things that the Lego community has published, and by the way, this is all data that comes from a site called refreshable.com. And of course, all the Lego things are copyrighted by Lego, but I'm only using the public data that's available. But I want to say that you can actually point to a Lego set and then say, give me, and I need to just, let me pull this away, give me all the parts in that set. Because that's also a relationship and something that's available in the data. And I can say, okay, get me all the items, give me all the parts. And I don't know why that was B7, get items. I don't know why I'm getting a count field on that one. I shouldn't be. Because it has the Lego set parts. And that is what I'm asking for. Oh, okay, sorry. Dumb error here. I was thinking about this as an array, but it's not. So what I'm doing there is actually getting all the parts in that Lego set. I know you're you're probably one of you is working for a company that has bill of materials. I can choose to what is the quantity, and lo and behold, I can also choose to say, what is the image of that part and the color and so on. That's pretty neat, I think. All because you had this data in the Power BI semantic model and the relationship between the two data types, the sets and the parts.
Jakob, presumably I can also get, if I'm reaching to a higher level in that stack, so I'm not looking strictly at the part level, but I'm looking at, what is the parent product, I'd be able to get the count of parts or something like that.
Yeah.
As well.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's actually in the data. The counterparts is part of the data type or the data that was shared within the community. But of course, you could go and on top of this start writing Excel formulas. So you could say the sum of this, and that should match up somehow. And you can see that it almost does match up with the number of parts of here.
What I'm trying to think about is, and forgive me for putting this in the terms of financial data, right? But I mean, if I look at saying, hey, look, I want to pull back a category for something, I don't know, burger sales, can I see my quantity of burger sales for X and then say, hey, you know what, now I want to break it down by what's my burgers by year and then get the quantity of those. I mean, presumably how I built my semantic model and how the aggregations I are out there would be important, but all of those things should potentially be able to be pulled out through these data sets.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Ideally, yes. I think one thing, again, Power BI semantic model has a wealth of metadata in it. And you can see that I'm using the field metadata. I'm, using things like, for example, the display folders to have these neat collapsible sections in the card. I'm using number formatting, comes over from Power BI. Choosing what image to have or images on the thing comes over from Power BI. I'm using the relationships in the add-in. One thing I've really I've got requests for is really to take more advantage of the measures that you have in that model and bring that over to as the data type. If you have a calculated column on a table, it should come over into Excel as it is right now. But the more general use of measures is still something that I need to figure out and create a good design for, which is not trivial.
That's fair. That was sort of what I was looking for, is do the measures calculate properly for these different things. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So just for reference, before you move too much further on this too, Jakob, I just want to throw in Eric Hartwig's made a comment in the chat here. He's filled up a small notebook with experimenting with the add-in, trying different things out, and it's amazing. So
that's awesome. Thank you, Eric. I think you have a very interesting use case for the data types and so on. And it's great to have you explore how you can use it. Let me just finish off with the last topic before we end. And that's really, like, as you saw, this was the data types, that the way of using the data types is very, very much like, okay, you can if you have a key, you can then go and get a data type, you can inspect it, you can pull the data out. But what if you're really not interested in that, but more than one data type or one record or what object from a collection? And this is where the query API that the add-in has comes in. There is a custom function in the add-in that gives you all of the collections and that's available in the add-in. And they are data types in themselves, these collections. The right way of using this would not be to use that, but instead do something like this, and then look up one collection. And I want the Lego sets collection. And when I ask for that, it will look up that collection. And the thing with the collections is that they feature a get items function. And get items will get the first 1,000 entities, whatever Power BI or Excel considers the first 1,000 items from that collection, and show it to me. So now I've actually built a query that let's check what it brought back. It actually brought back 1,000 items. And then you could say, yeah, what if I don't want 1,000, I want more of that? Well, there's a take function. And now I'm actually sort of composing a query by using the dot notation again, but using functions. And what if I just for a second remove the get items? When I use the dot function, it actually modifies my collection and the query within that. So now you can see that the limit is 2,000. Before I changed it, it was just 1,000. So what the dot function does is that it adds to my query. And then the get items materializes that query. So in this case, it will materialize a query that is now 2,000. I can, of course, let's just go and put year in here. So this is the year of that set, and you can see that goes way back in time. That's maybe not what I want. So let me just copy this over here and then start working on that. And one way of working on that is to actually use a filter function. So I know that there's a property called year, and I want to take and say, I want all of, this is Excel syntax, all of the sets that are after 2020, and I want to show that. So it's going and executing my query and then bringing that back to Excel. It will actually, since this is a Power Query connection, it will actually go and use like the Power Query DAX to bring that back. So it took a little bit longer, but that's because it's actually retrieving all of these results. So I can, I should probably just go, well, no, I won't. Let's keep that. So that's the filter function. That's maybe a little bit messy. So I want to sort by the year as well. And get a little bit less messy collection back. Now it's actually going into the Power BI semantic model, and it's sorting by year before it does the take 2,000, which should mean that we should get like all of the things sorted by year. What else? Well, let's get a little bit closer to what Ken was talking about, because I think he talked about grouping these. So I can actually do, let's just take this away for a second. I can go and group by the year, and then things change a little bit. And then I actually want to take this part and then move that after think by. Because if I do that, it will actually summarize my query based on the years. So instead of bringing back all of the sets, it brought back each of the years. Okay. That's kind of interesting, because what I can then do, and I know that I'm running short of time, but just so I can show you the interactivity of this, I can actually go and add some data validation to my sheet here, and I can point to my list of years. So I can choose a year here, and then I can go and say, this is a collection that I'm choosing. I can choose the get items from that collection. And if I choose to bring out the year in this, and that's just for fun, bring the image over, that needed a pound sign. You see that I now have the 2021, and if I choose something else, it will go and get that for me. Instead, I think with that image request, we've made Excel really busy. So let me just take that away for a second, and then just insert, just do the name and so on. So again, you can see that I can actually make some interactivity here in the model. Again, it takes a little bit of time for it to execute, but and of course, that is probably not the only thing I want to do, but I probably want to do some aggregations on this. And if I'm building on this, I can say minimum, for example, and say number of parts. I can say maximum number of parts and average. So basically use aggregation functions. And when I execute that function and it comes back with a result, I can go and from those groups extract the values of that. And there's some sets in this data, some unclean data in this that actually has sets that have 0 parts in them, which is not correct. All Lego sets have parts in them and so on. But this is basically showing the aggregates for the value chosen there. And of course I can, do things like just move that down here, and that did not work because it's not an array and so on. But you get the point. So these are basically the aggregations that it's doing, and it's doing that in Power BI. Good. I'm about at time, I think. Any questions related to this?
Yeah, a couple of questions here. So Christian is asking, can we use the data types inside Excel tables with additional benefits like simple formulas or slicers, etc.?
You can somehow, you need to bring the data into a table, and so the data types themselves, like if you only do one and you do a convert and then have the data type in the cell, they can live inside of a table. The get items produces a dynamic array, and the Excel team has still to make a way that you can put a dynamic array directly into a table, if that makes sense. But you can probably do, that's probably a harder one to make.
But I think from the standard data type, I mean, if you just want to be able to expand columns and expand your tables, I mean, if you want to be able to hook a slicer or a timeline to that, as long as you've expanded that column out, that should work because it's just grabbing data at that point in time. So yeah, I would think that should be okay, Christian, if that was what you were looking for. And then the second question Christian asked is, I might have missed this at the beginning, but is this add-in working only with semantic models?
No, it's right now there's 2 supported data sources. One is the Power BI semantic model. But if you just have, and this is a great way of starting out, if you just have an Excel workbook that's saved to SharePoint or OneDrive, this one is, you can actually choose that, and then it will go and you can select a table from that. So a workbook with tables saved on SharePoint or OneDrive, you can go and select a table from that, and it will become a data type. And the nice thing about it is that everyone that has access to that workbook through the team or whatever they have been granted access to, or group and so on, will then see that data type, and they will not know that it came from Excel. And that's the same with Power BI. That no one knows that that knowledge is not distributed to the users. So that's the two options that are there now. If you have other data sources that you cannot bring into Power BI or cannot bring into Excel, let me know and let's take a look at that. That would be interesting for you.
I can certainly say, Christian, I've used Jakob's data type to set up a data type based on meetup data, which is stored inside an Excel workbook that lives on my OneDrive. The amount of time it took to set it up was honestly less than 2 minutes, and anyone on my team can use it. The hardest part, truly, was figuring out what is the appropriate key that you would want to be able to convert. So when somebody actually goes and selects, type something into a cell and select it to convert it, what makes logical sense? That's the tricky part that you're thinking. Like part numbers is easy, but when you're thinking about something like a meetup, is should it be date driven? Should it be person driven? Those kind of things are things that you have to think through. But the actual setup of it was super slick and pretty easy to go. Christian's asking also, for Power BI models of source, does the end user need a Power BI Pro license?
Yes. That's a requirement. They need a Power BI Pro license to query the model through the API, and they also need what is called build access to that model. And again, the sharing of the data types based on Power BI is based on what the user have access to in Power BI. So again, the sharing of this to users in your organization is as easy as sharing Power BI data. But yes, you're right. They need to be licensed with a Power BI Pro license or premium capacity or whatever it's called.
I think that's it for questions so far, Jakob.
Good. I just want to let you know that I really appreciate if you want to take this for a test drive. You can find the add-in in add-ins in the store, or use the links in this presentation that brings you directly there through my website. I want to give the caveat that some companies or some organizations have limited the ability to install add-ins, or they have limited the ability to consent to the Microsoft Graph and Power BI scopes are needed in order to access the information. That's an intra-ID setting for the add-in that also needs to be in place. So if you try this out and you run into, only my admin can approve this or install this, do not hesitate to get in touch with me, and I'll send you instructions that you can share with your Microsoft 365 admin, administrator, or IT support that describes how you can install the add-in. But it's just something to be aware of. If you're really interested in going deep on this and you can't get your IT to approve it, I can help. You can do a test tenant or a developer tenant that you can set up, and then you can try the add-in there. And I'm happy to give you instructions on how to set that up. It's just a caveat that as things get more locked down and so on, add-ins are one of the things that IT typically want to have more control over. But again, I've worked with many IT teams getting the add-ins into the environment, and it's usually not a very complicated process to do that, and so on. But they may have some specific questions that they want to answer as part of that process, and I'm happy to help there. Again, thanks for listening in on this. I think there's a lot of value in thinking about data types in a way to make things more structured, make things a little bit more controlled on what data is brought into a workbook, and especially think about it as, all of you, I guess, because you're at this meetup, can do all the Power Query things and all the data connection things and so on. But a lot of Excel users can't. And this really helps them create that and so on. And bring important data into their workbooks and get it right every single time. Again, thanks for the questions along the way. Do not hesitate to reach out to me, and I'm happy to set up a Teams call where we can discuss your scenario, and I can take questions related to that and so on. And thank you, Kent, for facilitating this. Super wonderful again to be part of your meetup.
No worries. Thanks for doing this. We always appreciate it. I'll also say just for folks that as you're working through and playing around with this, one of the things that I really love about the fact that the way that Jakob is setting this up is you can download a trial and you get a certain amount of credits to start with. So when you are experimenting and playing around with building things, you at least can try it in the real world and see how it goes. The token part that, the cost part you want is actually for the conversion from basic value into the data type. So the biggest piece of advice I would give to people there is convert a block at a time. Don't just convert one individual piece, because a block takes the same amount of tokens as one individual cell. But once you start going through and dealing with that, once you've set the workbook up and you distribute it to someone else, the refresh doesn't take you anymore, which is great. So it's very much something that can be driven end user, but can also be driven from a development standpoint to get it out so that other people can use it with minimal friction, which is great. So I think he's done a great job in setting that up to make it accessible to people. So, good work on that one, Jakob. And I'm looking forward to going and playing around with some of the collection stuff and seeing what we can do there. So,
yeah, it's brand new, and I'd really appreciate your feedback on that. Yeah, absolutely.
No worries. Awesome. Well, thanks again for coming and doing this, Jakob. I really appreciate it. And I know you're going to be coming back later on this year. We got some sessions with you again as well, which is fantastic. So, in the meantime, we will get the recording posted up in the next 24 hours. So for anybody who wants to go back and rewatch some of how this stuff was done, you'll be able to do so. It will be posted onto the Skillwave YouTube channel. We will also let you know on Meetup when it's done as well. And don't forget that we got a couple of great meetups coming up in the next couple of weeks. We got Sue Bays going to be joining us. And then to begin August, I will be here to talk about making yourself a little bit more efficient in Excel as well. So until next time, folks, thanks very much for coming, and we'll see y'all again. Thanks again, Jakob.
Bye.
All right, cheers.